We were reading a report which says that India has around 69 million cases. This report is in 2015. And over 15 years, the incidence has grown by 100%. Why this sudden rise in diabetes is something that we'd like to know from you. But we'll start from the very basics. Sir, if you can please explain what is diabetes?
See, diabetes is when the beta cells of pancreas is the endocrine gland in the upper abdomen, which secretes insulin, and these beta cells, they formulate insulin and secrete it, and this insulin actually lowers the glucose. But once there is a deficiency of insulin, or if there is a resistance to the insulin, then the blood glucose starts rising. In most common scenario, it is the obesity, increase in the fat in the body, which produces resistance to the insulin, and such people will have increased tendency for diabetes. There are various kinds of diabetes, of course. This is typically type 2 diabetes. There is type 1 diabetes where these cells are totally gone, where some process destroys these cells, and there are various other kinds of diabetes. But most common throughout the world is type 2 diabetes, where the obesity is the main risk factor. Now, as far as India is concerned, the diabetes was already increasing. It's not 15 years, it is almost 25 years. It was already increasing, but the curve which was increasing was not discernible by most people.
Right.
It crossed the threshold by 1995, 2000, and then people were wondering what is happening. When I went to Health Ministry in 2000 and formulated the nationwide plan for diabetes control, they will not believe that this is an important problem for health in India.
Right.
And they say tuberculosis is a problem, malaria is a problem, we have to fight that, the funds should be allocated there, but not for diabetes. We had a hard time explaining to them that this is a rising problem, it is going to consume this country in a short while. And this is what happened. Once various agencies, WHO and everybody really put the figures in front, then everybody started looking at that, and now it's everywhere. Every family has a person with diabetes.
Right. So, before you explain the basic human ecosystem that is being affected by this one singular problem, why does diabetes happen?
Most of the people, the diabetes will happen if there is resistance at the cellular level in the action of insulin. So, what insulin does is, it enters the cell through one, and once it enters the cell, the glucose starts coming in the cell and starts being used as energy. Due to some factors, the insulin doesn't enter the cell, what is called the insulin resistance. The moment it doesn't enter the cell, glucose also doesn't enter. The cell is devoid of energy. We have fatigue. The sugar which is outside the cell cannot come inside the cell, it starts rising. It causes increase in the urination. It causes various other bad effects on every part of the body. So, this is at the cellular level.
Right.
But the basic cause, as I told you, is obesity, and the most of the obesity is the fat over the abdomen, inside the abdomen, and in the liver, and in the pancreas. So, all these organs which are metabolizing glucose every minute and keeping them it under control are full of fat in Indian people.
Right.
Versus the other people. If you take a white and same weight Indian person, so my weight is 75 kg and a white is sitting here with 75 kg, and if you do certain studies in me, my inside the abdomen will be full of fat, my liver will be full of fat, my pancreas will be full of fat, versus a white or a black person whose abdomen will have very little fat. Now, why does this happen, and why Indians have more fat in the body and in the liver, nobody knows. Likely to be genetic predisposition, but likely something has happened in our metabolism over the centuries which has put us into this state.